early where appropriate. And on the region's roads, tens of thousands of drivers have been stuck on routes surrounding the M62, which has been closed this weekend between junctions 18 and 20 for the installation of a new £22 million railway bridge. It's due to reopen at 6 a.m. tomorrow. This coincides with the closure of another of the region's busiest roads, Oldham Way, which shuts for 11 nights between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. from tomorrow. Becky Holmes, BBC North West Tonight.
Now it's the final day of Radio 2's Party in the Park in Preston, with 70,000 fans gathered to watch the Pet Shop Boys headline this evening. Last night, Sting, Sugar Babes, Travis and Snow Patrol were among those to take to the stage in Moore Park. The event's expected to generate millions of pounds for the local economy, with increased footfall and hotel stays. Next to Paris, where the Paralympics closing ceremony is due to get underway. The Northwest contributed 7 gold medals to Team GB's tally, while Cheshire's Dame Sarah Story is now the most successful British Paralympian of all time, after adding another 2 to her collection, taking her gold medal total to 19. An absolutely incredible achievement. And crowds gathered on Blackpool's promenade last night to watch the first round of the World Fireworks Championships, with this display from the Polish team. It's been pretty soggy out there today, hasn't it? Let's see what tomorrow has in store for us. Here's Kate with the forecast.
Good evening. It's been a soggy old end to Sunday for some. We've had some lively outbreaks of rain this afternoon, and it is still with us for some of us. And it's going to slowly edge its way to the east as we go through the latter parts of the night, leaving behind quite a lot of cloud and 1 or 2 showers. Skies clearing across western areas, so the Isle of Man could get temperatures down to 12 degrees here, but quite a mild night elsewhere. Now tomorrow morning it is going to start off quite grey for most of us. We'll see some outbreaks of rain through the morning as well, but that will clear us away to the east. We'll see some gorgeous sunshine returning behind that, but the winds are going to pick up and it is going to turn a lot cooler and fresher, highs of 16 to 17 Celsius.
I'm back at 10:25, but enjoy the rest of your evening and bye for now.
BBC Radio Lancashire, keeping you up to date with what's going on. So, Lancashire, the big moments. So, Lancashire, local rivalries.
So Lancashire,
and all the music you love. So Lancashire. So Lancashire. So listen. Hello, it's Graham with BBC Radio Lancashire. Listen on BBC Sounds.
good evening. Big change in the way it feels as we go through this week. That change has already started to take place in the northwest, and with it, being settled, quite windy with some colder nights as well. Now we have got quite a lot of rain around at the moment. We've had a month's worth of rain in Shropshire, for example, underneath this stagnant weather front. Some thundery showers elsewhere, even up into the Scottish Highlands, but they're all starting to ease away. And overnight, that weather front will ease and push its way gradually eastwards, clear as skies coming to the north and the west, and it will be relatively cooler, as it has been cooler by day here. Temperatures down to 4 or 5 in rural areas, still quite mild under clouds both south and east, and there could be some misty murky weather over the hills as well first thing if you're travelling. But that change will continue pushing further south and east through the day tomorrow. The weather fronts are already ganging back up in the north and west, but it does look as if it will be drier for the bulk of northern England, Wales and the southwest. Just a little cloudy and grey with some drizzle in the east, and before long we've got more rain coming back into parts of western Scotland and Northern Ireland as we go through the afternoon. But temperatures in the south down on those of today will feel fresher. Now, come Tuesday, that weather front will have swept across the north and start to push its way southwards. But look at the tightly packed isobars, some windy weather as I mentioned, and those winds are coming down from the northwest, and that's why it's going to feel much cooler after the warm start to September, both by day and by night. But there will be some sunshine in between those hefty showers.
We don't have enough mystery in what you know the point of the show. We're trying to solve it. That's the issue.
Ramesh is putting on his detective hat and attempting to solve some of music's most mysterious deaths.
We made it. And let's have something new.
The Missing Investigations of Ramesh Ranganathan
Very much now.
continues tonight at 9 on BBC Two and iPlayer.
Hi everyone, Vernon here. This one is for everyone in the world's little laundry. I do hope this one
Marielle Live with you on BBC One, and it doesn't get much more Sunday night than this. Brand new Antiques Roadshow in an hour after Countryside Lumping.
We're in West Exmoor, a place shaped by generations who farmed and managed it for thousands of years.
But as wild and dramatic as this landscape seems, it's thanks to ambitious conservation projects that nature's delicate balance is maintained.
Bordered by the towering cliffs and rugged coves of the Atlantic coast, and riven with wooded valleys reaching inland are the combes and moors of Exmoor National Park.
Walking across this windswept moor with views across the sea, there's a sense of tranquility.
Yes, but behind the calm, there's a hive of activity. Change is afoot, and quite the scale.
Wetlands are created by some surprising architects.
Notice you've given me the bucket and you backed off. Are you setting me up to fail here?
What's this?
Moorlands are enhanced by rootling pits.
Eventually, it allows the dog violet, which is the main food source of the high ground, to thrive.
Whilst woodlands are protected from devouring herbivores.
So we do also have red deer and roe deer at very high numbers. They eat everything. Basically, thousands out pretty much boys out and they're showing all the wildlife and trees that will be here in the future for them to see.
Good boy.
And in the Cotswolds, Adam's not getting it all his own way.
Well, this is a first for Victor. Never had his feet picked up before. Stop biting me.
West Exmoor may look wild and untrammelled, but from the heathland created through woodland clearances in the Bronze Age to the hill pastures supporting the livestock that feeds us today, this landscape has been shaped by human hands for thousands of years, and that's had a huge impact on wildlife here.
In days gone by, this area would have been much more diverse with a wide range of habitats. So an ambitious new conservation project is looking to recreate elements of the past to allow wildlife to thrive in the future.
National Trust Ranger Jack Ward is part of a team working to transform Tatterscoombe, a former sheep farm a few miles inland from the coast.
Jack, this field looks very different to other parts of Exmoor. It just seems a bit messier and a bit more wild.
Yeah, that's right. I thought I'd bring you in here just to show you what landscapes can look like when you just add a bit of water.
So the only difference is this is wetter.
Yeah, absolutely. Simple as that.
Since 2019, Jack and the team have put in more than 100 ponds and scrapes across this 50-hectare site.
If you were to go back just 3 or 4 years ago when we started this project, this whole area was pretty dependent in terms of nature. You'd get just a few sort of generalist species around. But it's been absolutely incredible since we started making these changes, like putting in these ponds. And we've just seen an explosion of all sorts of wildlife. I think even we've been a bit surprised how quickly nature moves back in when you just give it a little bit of space.
Insects like grasshoppers and amphibians such as toads are now thriving here at Tatterscoombe. In terms of biodiversity, the aim is to edge this landscape closer to how it was hundreds of years ago, before Exmoor was drained for agriculture.
So this is the sort of thing we've been finding. This is a land drain. There's a network of them all over the place. So basically every field that you'll see around Exmoor, just to drain water away from the land as quickly as possible.
Yeah. So for farming, for getting drier land, these things are great, but in terms of nature and wetlands, you want to keep the water. You can actually take away quite a lot of water in that country.
Yeah, absolutely, and they really do when it's raining. So it's just a really important piece of work to do to actually identify where these are and dig them up.
But Tatterscoombe needs to be maintained, and in this case, to get the job done, 4 legs are better than 2.
We're trying to make all our work as sustainable as possible, and to do that, a lot of the time that means just removing us from it and allowing essentially animals to drive changes, and that's what we're looking to do here, mainly using different types of livestock.
Cattle, pigs and Exmoor ponies all have roles to play across Exmoor. They're rootling, grazing and trampling, creating the mosaic of landscape needed for a rich biodiversity.
They'll do a much better job than we could.
To maintain the wetlands created here, another helper is being enlisted. One that's more accustomed to South and Southeast Asia.
All these ponds that we're putting here, they're about 2 or 3 years old now. They're already starting to silt up, which is great. They're trapping sediment and storing carbon, but we don't want to have to keep coming back in every few years with diggers. When we can chuck a few water buffalo and they'll do that job.
Water buffalo?
That's right, it's unusual, but I suppose if you were to look back, further in time, basically all of the wildlife that get in Britain evolved alongside big wallowing animals similar to the water buffalo, and those sorts of species are missing.
Nana, how do you tell what's in?
The 6 water buffalo that will soon be roaming the valleys of Tatterscoombe are currently being readied for their new role at Kipscoombe Farm, 15 miles to the east. National Trust Farm Manager Murray Sharp is looking after the herd.
So how do they differ from cattle in terms of your aims on wetlands?
Cattle tend to avoid
I've done it.
the flying areas in summer. They go right into the water, so these guys we're hoping actually will get in the water and graze the marginal vegetation, open up some of the ponds so we get a bit of light in there, so we get a variety of plants. So we're hoping that they really will drive the sort of ecology within the wet areas.
While clearing these areas of vegetation, the buffalo creates new channels and stop ponds from silting up. All in all, making a good old mess for nature to flourish in. Splashing around in water also regulates their body temperature and wards off ticks and parasites.
We've had them on the drier areas, they get in the troughs.
Really?
Yeah. So we're quite with the front legs in the trough there.
The troughs that they're drinking out of, they're getting in thinking it's a pool.
Yeah, and then we've had a broken pipe, this week, and when we